So the new finder for today says that Gold Board commences licensing of service providers. You know that the Gold Board indicated that it was going to start that. Fraud cases in banks, others declined by 18% in 2024. BOG and Petrosol CEO downplays EV adoption threat. I'm sure we'll come back and give you details of those stories. What do you have?
Yeah, the Ghanaian Times leads with newborns to receive hepatitis B vaccination from October. Comes with a picture of Dr. Kwame Amponsachiano of the Ghana Health Service. And this incident still making the news. 13 perish, others injured in gory accident on Accra Kumasi Highway. And then the former NDC national chair is also on the front page. Mineral wealth must benefit everyone. That is Ofusu Ampofo saying that. And then researchers, policymakers discuss health system strengthening in Africa at the University of Ghana between April 29 and 30. At the back page, Cashew farmers appeal for processing factory. And then hope restored as Sagnerigu community dam is stretched.
I mean, just a bit on the cashew farmers, they're appealing for a factory.
Yeah.
Well, so the cashew farmers can also come together and set up a factory. One of the things we don't do in this country is partnerships. We don't do that enough. Many entities, many persons feel the only way to engage in business is to start a business, own it 100%, and that's it. But like our people say, it is better to be part of a whole than to be nothing.
Yeah.
1% of 100% is better than 100% of zero. I mean, it makes no sense. So these cashew farmers, how about they come together, then contact a financial institution and say, we've been able to raise this amount of money. How about you help us set up this factory? That'd be better.
I think it's a great point that you make. I mean, because if you look at the amount of cashew we produce in the country, all of them going outside, most of that going outside, and we are not getting the value for it. The same thing with our cocoa, the same thing with our gold. We have the natural resources that are worth billions under the ground, even when you bring them up. And when you add value to it, it's just way above what we could comprehend in terms of what it's able to get into this country. So it's a good point that you make. And the story says the cashew farmers, these are the farmers in the Bono region, and they're calling on the Tree Crop Development Authority to facilitate the establishment of a processing factory for the cashew apple to generate more income. So it's a good point for them to come together and do something like that.
I wonder though, you see, when the market itself doesn't do something, you must ask yourself why. Yeah. So why hasn't some entrepreneur taken the opportunity to come and set up a cashew factory? What are the barriers? What's the reason why it hasn't already happened? Because whatever those reasons are, if the cashew farmers get enterprising enough, as Winston suggests, and decide that they want to do it themselves, they will face these same barriers.
Yeah.
So what's the problem? What's the reason why nobody who already has access to capital has decided, nobody has decided to do this?
Well, it's also our over-reliance on government, could you sometimes. I mean, look, the people who are engaged in poultry farms here in this country, who could actually go a long way and support the poultry industry. If I am government and you show me evidence that you can actually meet the local needs in this country, I tell you, I'd give you business. Okay? Because all of us would know, for instance, that when it comes to poultry, we know that it is better to produce locally because we don't even know how old the frozen chicken is.
2-3 years.
Sometimes more than that. 5 years and it's brought to you. So if I know that I'm buying fresh chicken, why wouldn't I take it? You get my point? I'll take it. But the other point is, okay, so this is it. Government would have to engage in land preparation and all of that. We've seen government doing that at the Economic Enclave Project as a way of supporting these people. But if, for instance, Kojo, Winston, and Kweku Asante and Samuel Dami, we came together and decided that we were going to start with, say, the cultivation of a 100-acre maize farm while also preparing for the commencement of a poultry industry, because maize is needed, is a major component of their feed. What we can actually do is to say, let us start the cultivation of maize, sell some of these bags of maize, and start the process of the construction of even a poultry farm. So it's not about just starting that, okay, I have a poultry farm. No. You're starting by, first of all, in your plan, indicating that if I'm able to, say, cultivate 10 acres of maize, 100 acres of maize, I'd get something. How much would it cost you? We're told that it will cost you between 3,000 to 4,000 Ghana cedis to cultivate an acre of maize. So if you're engaging in, say, 10 acres for a start, that is you engaging in spending some 40,000 or maybe less because of the increase in numbers, maybe less. Then you pick it up from there. But consistently, what we have done is to start projects, sometimes without any plan. Then we go back and say, government must come to our aid. Yes, government must come to your aid sometimes. But if consistently everything you do is that government must come to your aid, you would also be burdening government. Anyway.
Well, moving on, there's a story about gold, about all minerals in general. The mineral world must benefit everyone. This is the VIP speaking through Samuel Ufusuampofo, who is a staffer at their office. The Vice President, Professor Nana Jinopuku-Ajiman, has called on stakeholders to work together to achieve sustainable mineral wealth that benefits everyone, especially persons in mining communities. According to her, mining communities still remain underdeveloped due to the wide gap between the enormous profits of mining industries and the allocated funds to the mining community. I mean, it's right. I mean, you go to Obuasi and you look at the gold that has been mined from Obuasi for decades now, and you still look at how poor the place is. You still go to a lot of places in the western region, Takwa, the roads, and then you wonder, what kind of value are we getting as a people from our resources? Are we just taking the resources, government taking royalties and using them for other things, and then the private sector, a lot of them foreign companies, making all the billions of dollars and then taking them away to foreign countries?
You know, that's actually how Galamsey started.
Yeah.
Yes, it started as a sort of protest against the fact that only a few people were making money from mining gold and the communities were still impoverished. And so people, in their rebellion started digging here and there. And it was very few people. I remember back in the Rawlings era when Galamsey became something that was topical in the news. It was so rare that when it happened, it would make the news. Right? But today, it's turned into something else entirely. But you see, it started off as a protest.
Yeah.
It has now turned into a norm. And it is a norm that is killing us. And for some reason, the one power that can stop it refuses to.
Under the Achampon regime, we nationalized gold mines in this country.
Yeah.
We nationalized them.
Yeah.
Then we started selling off gradually. This is the problem. What sort of agreements do we sign with these entities? That's the first thing.
What are in those contracts?
What are in those contracts? And the second thing also, you see, is that what percentage of the Ghanaian population, or how many mines are owned by Ghanaians? I bet you, look, sometimes even those mines that you think are owned by Ghanaians are fronting it.
Yeah, the real Onadi.
Now, so first of all, a quarry site is a quarry site, and I'll explain. It's a place where people exploit minerals and go.
Yeah.
And once there isn't indigenous ownership of your minerals, it is turned into a quarry site. They would mine and go.
Yeah.
But this is how you go about it. People have talked about, look at the Johannesburg example. The Johannesburg mines actually owned by the people of South Africa.
Yep.
Our mines are not owned by us. So what happens is that many of these people would mine and then take the resources away. One of the things we've actually said, and you see, there's actually even a problem. And I remember I was doing a paper on tax sharing systems where I was advocating that where companies exist, for instance, within the mineral resources, a lot of the impact is felt by the community within which they operate.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to the payment of taxes, the direct taxes, should be paid to the assemblies within which they operate, of which a percentage be put in a government pool which can be distributed. And the reason It's simple. Look, we talk about over the royalties that have been paid. The royalties that will go around, and a small percentage will come to the people. Then we will say, but they've not done anything. They've not done anything. I have seen, and I think it was Goldfields that actually constructed the Takwa-Bogoso Road.
Yeah.
Okay, what sort of, agreements do we sign with these people?
No.
So first, it's important that we sign better agreements. Secondly, it's also important that we encourage Ghanaian ownership of mines. We encourage, and as we talk about encouraging Ghanaian ownership of mines, again, the partnerships matter. Come together.
So Ghanaian ownership is important. You look at what's happening with Songo Salt and Electrochem. But you see, it's only step one, right? It's good to have Ghanaians owning a sector. But beyond that, I really agree with your suggestion that the revenue from it should go to the community. That is where the mine is.
Yeah.
So it should be a rich area.
Yeah.
It should be.
Yes.
So they should have perfect roads. They should have wonderful hospitals. They should have great schools because they have a mine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so Goldfields, let me just bring you details of Goldfields Government of Ghana AMPAS, because it says that Goldfields provides a progress update on the Damai mining lease extension. So we're told that Goldfields is pleased to have reached an agreement with the Government of Ghana for a productive way forward for the Daman mine that is expected to benefit employees, local communities, the mine stakeholders, and the people of Ghana. So Goldfield, we told, has been engaged in extensive discussions with the Government of Ghana, which have yielded a constructive agreement for the Daman mine as follows. The Government of Ghana will grant a new mining lease to Goldfields for the Daman mine for 12 months, during which time Goldfields will continue to operate the mine, and the new mining lease will be subject to ratification by Parliament when it reconvenes on 16th May 2025. During the lease period, the company will safely recommence mining activities at the mine in line with the mining program that has been submitted to the Government of Ghana, ensuring continued employment and increase in jobs created with the restart of mining activities. Goldfields will take all reasonable steps to restart open pit mining, and the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources will provide the necessary support in obtaining the requisite permits to support recommencement of mining operations. In the interim, the Daman mine will continue to process surface stock piles, and we're told that Goldfields would progress and finalize by end of 2025 the detailed bankable feasibility study to extend the life of Daman mine, and Goldfields is committed to continuing with the infill exploration drilling program to improve mineral resource confidence at the time.
I mean, the plan of government ultimately is to sort of get this into local hands. I mean, yesterday there was a statement from Felix Ofusukwache, who spoke about how governments intend to take over the mine ultimately after this 1 year lease. In fact, the government said they were not going to extend this, and ultimately they've come to this agreement. It's a good progress update that we've gotten on this impasse.
Yeah.